Hello. This is Jill, FiberFloozieCrafts. Welcome to the She Shed. Welcome back to the She Shed. I know I have lots of new people, and I am so very thankful that you are spending time with me. Anyone that spends any time with me, hangs out with me, makes comments on my videos. I just love it. This is my socializing. So thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. This one is a vlog. This is Floozie in the She Shed number 164. It is a podcast, but I combine it with a vlog. Now, this is supposed to be an end of the month vlog. However, Mr. Fiber and I are going to be going out of town, and I may be away from my computer, AFK. If y'all remember the 80s and 90s AFK. So yeah, maybe away from the channel for a few days coming up. And I thought I would go ahead and get this one out to you. And that way, because I've got most of it edited. This one's going in the front. In the California cup, it is black coffee. I'm almost finished with it. This is my first cup of the day, and that has honey. It is, which coffee am I drinking today? Oh, this one was from the dollar store, and it's one of the K-pods from the dollar store. I usually do a K-pod in the morning, and then throughout the day I do the community coffee, and I have the reusable canister that I use the filters from Amazon. I put the filter, and then I pick my poison from my mini bags of community coffee that my daughter Chelsea got for me on sale at Rouse's in Louisiana. Okay, I have a lot to share. Let's just get started. I finished. Oh, I'm gonna have to walk. I will be getting up and down out of my chair here. This chair is where this is where I typically sit to do my diamond painting. Let me kind of show you around a little bit. So this is actually the door coming into the She Shed, and it's a metal door. So I have put these metal shells on the back of it, and then I'm set up here. Now I can move this here. This is on metal, but this I can move, and I can open this door if I want to. But I have you on a table, and then I'm sitting in my chair at the end of that table, and usually I will put, I have this easel. I don't know if you can see it. This easel is down here on the floor here, and I will put it up here on the desk where I do my diamond painting. I do try not to move you guys around too much, so hopefully that wasn't too bad for you. And then right behind me is my pegboard, and that has kits and tools and things like that. And then right here, these jars have things that I use for painting, for card making and stuff like that. And they are in these, you know, it's tools. It's tools. And then I also have a few kits and things on this wall also. Okay. And Serbs is right here. He's not on the bone or nothing. He saw me getting dressed, and he thought I was leaving. All right, so I will be getting up and down to go get things throughout the room, but I finished another washcloth, and I can see that I made it smaller at the top. I don't think it's going to matter, and I don't really care. But let me see if I can show you the texture that's on this one. I really think this one would, this stitch here would make a very good scarf. Or if I made it longer, it could be a nice wrap. It would also make a very nice panel for a open weave sweater. Yeah, I can tell though that because when you fold it in half, it's not that far off though. It's not off by too much. Let me get the book that I'm using for that. Okay. It is number 7. That's what it's supposed to look like. We've only just begun with this book, you know. It is the Big Book of Dishcloths. It is a Leisure Arts, which is my favorite. And I have started number 8. But I don't have much to show you on number 8, so I'm not going to show you that one. Okay, now that is the first thing I have finished. And then I finished, now if you're wondering, my necklace, this necklace was bought from Tracy at I Love Loopy Crochet and Treasures. She has an Etsy store and it has beautiful beads all on it. I love this one in particular because I can wear it with a lot of different things because it has a lot of different colors in it. Oh, sorry, trying to get a little bit closer to show y'all. See, it has all kinds of colors in it. So I love it. All right, I finished a hat. If you remember the hat that I was working on, that is where I changed colors. It's not too terrible. There's not a huge San Andreas fault. This is a bulky weight hat done in number 5 yarns. Now this one is the last of the big twist. Dark blue brown. This one was made in 2022. It's static. Was a Joann's yarn, 100% acrylic, 131 yards. But I made 2 hats. I made one and then I used this color to use my paw pattern, my paw hat pattern. And I used this on the other one, was fully that static, and then this to make the paws. This one I decided to do stripes. So I used up the static yarn. And this is all I have left of the other one. And this one is a yarn by Crystal Skies hand dyed by Donna of she's Hurley's hand dyed on YouTube, is her and Amber. But her Etsy store is Crystal Skies hand dyed. And I have a little bit left of that to put in another hat. This will be perfect to put as paws on another hat, another bulky weight hat. I'm really enjoying making these bulky weight ones. So that's another finish. Okay. In this bag by, this is a naughty bag if you don't want to see. This is by Katie at Naughty Knitting Sacks. I love this bag. This is a nice, you know, it's a nice change in size. It could be a great sock bag. It could be a great bag for if you are, say you are doing 2 cakes of yarn. I know it's meant to be probably, or even 3. You could even do 3 cakes of yarn in here. It's just, I know it's meant to be like a large notions pouch, but this is a great little project bag. I love it. I don't know, she doesn't have these all the time in her store, but you should go over and see if she has them. Now, I made from Nordica by Premier 546 yards each. This is a 3-weight yarn. This color is rose linen. And then I had another one, which was this color that you see in the picture, kind of a sagey color. And I used them. Now, I did not have a full skein of the sagey color. I just had a small bit. And I used everything I had, and I made Fiber Spiders tutorial for the Virus Meets Granny. So see, I started with that sagey color and then went into that rose color. Rose and linen. I just used everything I had in these 2 colors. I knew it was not going to be the larger version of this shawl, and I finished it with 2 rows of the granny square clusters on the edge. I have not washed it yet. This is an awesome shawlette. I love how it turned out. Isn't that awesome? Great size, really. They don't all have to be big. Love the tutorial. I had some issues. It was just me in my head. Okay, so I had done the first video, and then I went back for part 2, and I was working on part 2, and I put it down, which is probably the problem, because I put it down and I came back, and it was after I had done the first set of grannies, and I did this part right here, and then when I switched color and went to this to do the next section, I messed up somewhere and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I took it out. I went back and watched the video, started over again, and it still wasn't right. Took it out again. I took it out 3 times before I figured it out. Different amount of rows each time. What I found out was I was repeating the very beginner chain after you do this the granny clusters. There's a beginning one here which you don't repeat, but I was repeating it and it was messing me up. But now that I got it, I love this. It turned out so good. So that's 3 finishes. Okay, now what else? All right, I'm gonna take a little break here and this part of it is going to be the vlog, and then we'll come back at the end and I'll show you the things that I am working on. Okay? All right, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Hello. It is Friday, August the 1st, and the boys and I are out for just a little bit of a walk. I will put this in somewhere with my vlog. The cactus are totally bloomed out. Let me show you. They are so full of berries. I wish I had the energy to pull them, but I do not, sadly. Those over there are going to come out too. We have just a little bit of cloud cover today, which made it a little bit cooler. So I thought, okay, let's go ahead and do just a little bit of a walk. There's Dukers. Serge! Come on! Come on! He wants to roll. Cerberus! No, bud, no. Since we had so much rain, the pasture grass, it's all grown up. Duke just saw a deer. So did I. There's the cows traveling up underneath the... Oh, Duke has spotted them. Duke. Duke. And the mesquites have lots of beans, which makes Toby, our donkey, very happy. You can just hear our cows calling each other. Speaking of which, there is Toby, and I believe that is Red, and that is exactly what they're doing. They're eating mesquite beans off the trees. Duke was in that water just a minute ago. All right. I'm ready for Friday Night Crime. We're going to continue our book, and the case we are talking about is the West Memphis 3. And I'm going to be working on this blanket, which started out being a blanket made from squares from the Granny Square box. This is the one I'm doing in DK weight yarn. Serge is on the bone. Here's how it's looking. I did two rounds of the solid, a purple and a pink, and then went back to the granny, and I had to pull a bunch of it out because I started with granny cluster, skip one, granny cluster, and it was bunching. So I had to pull two sides out and start again. I'm still doing 3 chain 1 3 in the corner. And I'm actually kind of wondering if that's too much. I'm kind of thinking of going back and doing 2 chain 1 2. I think I'll do that and see how it looks, and then I'll decide. Yeah. And I'm using a G hook with all of this DK weight yarn. So it looks a lot more square, if you can tell that. So I think I like that. 2 1 2 when I go into doing the granny part. So I will have to modify it when I come back around because I did 3 here in this corner. But actually I probably can pick that out. That's probably what I'll do. I'll pick out the one. I'll try. If not, then I'll just leave it. It'll be fine. It'll all work out in the end. I'll see you on the next clip. Okay, another day. This is Saturday, the 2nd of August. Welcome to August, y'all. And I am in Dad's car. I'll be driving when he comes out. We are at the casino. I've got my bag by Bridget. Queen's Crafts by Bridget. My queen bag. And I just started a hat. This has been lingering in the car, waiting for me to get started. And so yeah, here is the hat. And I'm not going to do the paws on this one, so it's not going to be my paw hat pattern. Here's what I have left of it. It is the Big Twist Static Dark Blue Brown. And I'm going to go back and forth between this one and the one from Donna of Crystal Skies Hand Dyed Yarn. And I'm just going to do some stripes of this one this time and not do the paws, because this is mostly a car project. Although when I get home tonight, depending on how much I have started on it, I may take it inside. I also have my washcloth with me, and that's usually what I work on. So we're at the casino, and I decided today that I am not going to give them any of my money. I'm going to put some pictures in for you right here of all the casinos right here. So from what I can tell, it looks like we now have 6 right here. Just right here, just over the Red River into Oklahoma. And there may be another one off back that way somewhere that I'm not seeing. So interesting. We come up here to get Dad's cigarettes about once a month. It's averaging once a month. And he buys them by the carton. And the cartons, it's cheaper here than anywhere else in our area. And so then we are going to go to, now the last time that we came up here, we went and had Chinese food in town in Wichita Falls. We went to Hunan. If you're from this area, you know the best place to go is Hunan. It's funny because at Hunan there's a lady there that she has been there ever since I can remember, and she is the mama of the family that owns it. And she was always at the door saying, "Hi, how are you? How's you, just talking you up every time." She was just she'd take your money, she'd be your cashier when you left, and we'll see you next time. And if I came without my kids, when my kids were little, she would say, "Oh, howdy kids, she remembered me and my kids." And that's how many times we would go there. Well, the last time, last month basically, when I went with Dad, she was there, but she was laying. They had a chase chair towards the back behind the cash registers. And I said, "Is that Mama?" And they said, "Yeah, she's here. She's working. She's here working." She was back there and she was laying, sleeping, taking a nap. I have no idea how old she is. I would put her in her 90s though. So So anyway, that's that story. Today, Dad and I are going to we're going to do the casino, then we're going to go do Cracker Barrel, and then we're going to go to do Walmart. So we're going to take care of all of his stuff today. So there'll be no separate trip. But this Walmart, being that it is a different one than the one we normally go to, it'll be fun to kind of walk around in there and go to a different Walmart. So yeah, if I remember, I'll try to take some pictures of the yarn department at this Walmart. My experience is that it didn't look a whole lot different than the one that we normally go to, but if it is, I'll take pictures for you, okay? All right, see you in the next clip. This is what's going on in the she shed. Got things all caked up over there. That bin over there. Another, that's full of cakes. Yeah, I've been watching videos. Dog mom. I don't know if he has any bones left in his basket. And it's okay. I love it. Balls and bones. And naps. I'll put the scarf on Tawanda back there. I'm fixing to go get in the shower, let's see, today is the 7th of August. I know, I look a mess. I'm gonna go get cleaned up so I can talk to you guys, and I had something I wanted to show you. So I bought the craze that was on Facebook, the Pearl. Everybody's doing these videos of putting it on. I bought it because I have a lot of red, and also because I have marks on my face from my CPAP machine, and little bumps that come up right where I wear my mask. So anyway, I'm gonna put that on. I'm not gonna show you me putting it on, but I'm gonna put it on and then I'll show you what I look like after I put it on. Let me give you a better lighting so that light is just a little bit better. No, I don't remember what I paid for it, but it comes in this little 2. Does not take very much. And then they also send you, when you very first buy it, they send you little samples. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just wanted to tell y'all that I did that thing and show you what it looks like. And this is after. I like that it takes quite a bit of the redness off of my chest right here. You do have to be careful. You can get it on your clothes until it's dry. Once it's dry, it doesn't smudge off. But as you can tell, I'm still just a little bit. You just have to wait for it to set. But yeah, it takes a lot of the redness off, and that's really all I wanted. Okay, so I said I had something to show you. We are in the front room, and I'm in front of the bunny cabinet, and this is where I have all the things I have designated for. These are gonna be for giveaway. So just wanted to show you, this is all I have left. Most of everything that I make, I donate, or I have a few things that I sell, but most of it's donated. If you go to my Ko-fi account, I do have a spot there where you can ask for a certain color of my hat, the paw hat that I make. So this is the blanket that we just finished. This is the Stitch and Crime blanket that we just finished. This is how it came out after I washed it. So we have that one, and it will be donated. And I'm gonna have to swing these over here onto the bed because they've been washed. And then I made this blanket. Y'all, I just finished this one, remember, with the squares. This is what I was calling the mini log cabin blanket. And I did 4 squares and put them all together. This was so much fun. I'm gonna make another one of these. So much fun to make. So I have that one to give away. And then, if you remember, I believe it was last year. I don't think it was in the spring that I did these. I don't think so. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I am pretty sure that it was last fall when I did these. But I made 2 blankets. And this is the Loops and Threads yarn. Don't even remember the name of this now. If y'all remember, you can help each other out in the comments. But I made the granny square, and this one is based on a pattern in Bonnie Barker's book. It's a book for making baby blankets, so they all are about the right size. And so this was out of her book. And then this one was also out of her book. And it is the lemon peel. And then I left the ends, and then I went back and filled in with some of the fringe. I just left the ends on either side. Really pretty. That one was the same yarn. So I had 2 of all the colors that I had bought. I had 2, and I made both of these blankets and still had a little bit of yarn left over. And then this is the Tunisian one that I made. I was just practicing Tunisian and learning it and getting like some muscle memory. And I made this one out of the Caron Jumbo Ombre, and I used the entire ball to make it. So this is one ball of Caron Jumbo Ombre in Faded Jeans is the color. It's my favorite one. And I was playing around with different stitches, trying to learn. Most everything I did was purl, the simple knit stitch, simple stitch, and the purl stitch in the Tunisian. Yeah, turned out really pretty. Maybe I should turn you around a little bit. Hold on. The lighting might be a little bit easier for you to see these things. Okay, and then I did a set, and I believe this was the other yarn. So Michael's had two different ones. They had, this one was the one with the twist in it, and then that one was the regular. And again, I don't remember what they were called. This was last year when I did this one. So this one I did a granny, and I did a regular log cabin on this one. Yeah, you can see the colors better now. This one I did the regular log cabin based on Hooked by Robin. It is her pattern for the log cabin. I'm really enjoying, and that mini one is just the same thing. You just only do 2 of the rows instead of 4. And on it, I put 4, I did 8 colors, and I put 4 on one side and 4 on the other. And then so that when I put it together, you could see the difference in there, in those. And then with this one, I made the little hat, the little newborn size hat. And I don't remember what pattern I used for this. There's a lot of them out there. And then I did this little, this was an MJ off the hook little sweater. And I put some buttons on it too, little lavender buttons, very flat little buttons. So this is a whole set. Okay, then I have, I've been giving away my washcloths, and I have several here that I just put them back because I had my bag that I take with me everywhere, and it has my knitting in it, and it was full, so I had to take them out. So I put them in here, and here's some of the ones that I have to send off somewhere. This one's an I Love This Yarn cotton. This one is the Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby. This one, I don't remember. I want to say this is, I don't think this is an I Love This Yarn. I don't believe this is one of those colors. It may be another, a dishy color. And then here's one I did in crochet. So those are in here. We're almost done. I don't have a whole lot. Now, I'm going to be giving this away. I don't enjoy wearing this. I tried really hard, and I even went back and put something around the outside of it, but I don't really. This is the sweater that I made out of the Crochet World magazine. This is on the cover. And I used the yarn that I got from that store Chelsea and I went to in Mississippi that is no longer there. And I didn't like the way the lapel felt, so I went back with this yarn and made it softer to be around the edge. I enjoyed this yarn a lot. It's a cotton. It's heavy. If anybody is interested in this, you can email me, FiberFloozieCrafts@gmail.com. If you're interested in this sweater, you can email me. It is a 1X. I would put this at a 1 to 2X. I mean, you could say 2. I can still wear it. I am a 2 to 3X right now, as of the time of this video. But yeah, it is all cotton and acrylic. And the last thing in here, this is the shawl that I made with it was the pull off at Hobby Lobby where you pull the patterns off of the display, and I don't even remember now what yarn I used. I want to say this one I think is the Flawless yarn, the Yarn Be Flawless. I believe that's what these two grays are. I think all of it is the Yarn Be Flawless. Yes. And then the blue that makes these puffs was another, you know, they make those limited edition yarns. And this was one of those limited editions, but it's all in the pattern. This was a lot of fun to make. I probably should do this again with that cranberry yarn I got, that Mr. Fiber took that sweater apart. I should probably do it with that. That would be a great one to do. Very nice. So I've actually been holding on to this one because it would make a nice gift, and I don't know right now for who. Okay, that is everything I have as far as giveaway. Now I have donations. I do have a couple of hats. I talked about that, and I'm working on some more. All of the other things, now I have a video where I went through all of my makes. Hold on. I have another video where I went through all of my makes, and they are all in these drawers. This is full. These drawers are absolutely full of all the things that I have made. What's going on? What's going on? What's the matter? You need to go outside? Oh, you need to go outside? Okay, he's got to go. Now, the bunny cabinet that I was talking about is here. Hold on. My mama painted it. It has bunnies, and then it has like, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you can. She painted over the bunnies. She painted the wire. And it has a hinge and a distressed. And it actually makes a really nice bench too. Sorry, I had to laugh. It cracks me up. Okay, so those things I showed you, those are all the things that I have stored up here that are ready to go for donation. And if you're interested in that sweater, let me know. Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's not the end of the month, like I said, but that's just what I've gotten up to so far. I know this video will probably be long anyway, so I thought we'll just go ahead and put it all in there and get this all going. I switched to my coffee. There is my logo, my rose. I craft so I don't kill people. And then my favorite movie, which is Lady and the Tramp. It's kind of my story. I like bad boys and girls. Okay, I forgot to show you a finish, but it's also something I'm working on. I finished the first turntable cover for Mr. Fiber. Let me just do it like this so you can see. Okay. It's done in a back loop, half double crochets in the back loop. It was not quite wide enough, and I ran out of this one color, so I switched over to the next color, and he said it didn't matter to him, and I went around, and then I went back and took it in to measure it, and it still was not quite wide enough, and I added 2 more just on the sides. Now, I marled that with, this thin one is Brown Sheep Yarns Cotton Fine by Brown Sheep Company from Omaha, where Mr. Fiber grew up. And so I held this together, 2 strands of it, with this yarn. However, this yarn, I used the first color and ran out of the first color, but it's the Yarn Bees Bambootiful bamboo yarn. And then I used this one around the outside. Now I'm saving that to go around it on the new one, because he has 3 turntables and then I have one. So I'm going to be making several of these. The next one, this is how it's looking. I've made it longer so that it will go all the way over and be correct when I get done. Hopefully I won't have to go around except once. We'll see. I'm still holding the Brown Sheep yarn together with it and this one. Now this one is a cotton and acrylic, and it is from Kramer Yarns, and it is their Tatami Tweed. And I have 2 more full skeins of this, so I won't run out of this one. And I'm using my dots 5.5. Which is an eye hook. So yeah, so that's a finish and a whip. Put that over there. You okay, Bubby? I have watery eyes today. Allergies. All right, I started another bulky hat. And this one is a super bulky. I've started doing the, I'm finished with the rib and gone on to the main part of the hat now. I am still working this on the same needle. And this is a 10.5, the Clover Takumi. This is a fixed needle and it is the 16-inch. So 6.5 millimeter, which is going to make it a little denser, which I'm okay with, because using super bulky, if you get it too open, it's just heavy with holes, and I didn't want that. And I'm using the tea cakes that I got the other day for $6.99 at Michael's. I don't know how many hats I'll be able to make out of it, but that's what I'm going to try and see. These have 80% acrylic and 20% wool, and they are 204 yards, which is a good amount for a super bulky. So we'll see how much, see how many hats I can get done from that. Okay, I've been making these beehives, and I'm also using that Kramer yarn to make those. And I'm on the third one. This one will go in front of the she shed here, because I have trees in front of me right here, and I get the wasps that come in my air conditioners. But that's where I'm at with that. Making another one. You go, basically they're single crochets, but they're done in the back loop. Then I have the Russ, I'm calling it the Russ blanket, because Russ at It's Raining Yarn is making these right now. So this is where I tell you that I have been caking a lot of yarn. Now I'll put pictures in. When I went to the thrift store the other day, I got yarn from the thrift store. Now you just saw some of it a minute ago. And I brought it home and it smelled really musty. It's vintage. Sayel and Orlon. I washed it and I made a mess out of it. I'm gonna put those pictures here. Yeah. So Mr. Fiber has put them all, untangled everything, and it took him 2 evenings, and he said he likes an intricate puzzle. He loves to do that. He loves to take sweaters apart. I'm going to show you some of that in a minute too. What I have been doing though is caking everything. So I have caked all of this that he untangled, and then I caked all of my little bits and pieces of, let me show you, hold on. Okay, right over here, these 2 jars have minis and scraps of fingering weight yarns, and I emptied that one, and then these are all pretty full like 20 gram minis. They're not scraps. I've taken all the scraps out of there. The cows must be coming up close to the house because that was Duke out there barking. So, here's the first one. This is just scraps, they weren't full minis. And then here's the second one. See in there? There you go. Now some of the scraps were bigger than others, but I didn't have labels for anything that was in here. So that's where I'm at with those hanks that I made up. And that, yes, I have tied them together. And what I do is I work up to the point where I have tied them, and then I cut it. I know it doesn't. Hush, Duke. Just right outside my door. It's not really the way that a cake works. Usually tie them together and you just go and you'll work over them. But I don't trust those little knots on this fingering weight yarn, so I am just cutting them and then working them as it goes. And that's where I'm at. And the reason I say it's a Russ blanket, because he's been making these on his channel using minis that he puts together. The one he's doing now is using Hirschner's sock yarn. It's just a solid granny in the center and then round and round. And what he does is the shells are 2 double crochets instead of 3, which makes it not be as spacey. So that's where I'm at. I'm working on this first one. And then I'm using a G hook, a 4mm on that. But that one is just when I need to do nothing. You know, no thinking or anything, just mindless. That's what I do with that one. Okay. This is the bag that I purchased from Queen's Crafts by Bridget. Big blanket bag. And it is Lady and the Tramp. I have several things in this because it is big enough for that, and I don't have a blanket in here right now. But the reason I wanted this one is because I started, remember me saying I've been caking stuff up? This is called A Lady in a Floozie. Was hand spun and hand dyed by Bridget. And I have 2 of them. Each has their own little personality. And I started show you a little closer. I started this, and it is a pattern by Lilia Bourne. It's Lilia Born Crochet. Her name is Tatiana. This one came out in 2024, and it is called the Friday Balaclava. So that's what I'm working on now. This one is going to be an ongoing. I don't think that I'm going to have enough of the Bridget yarn to do the full meal. So I have put in here some yarn that I got up in Colorado, and it is also a hand spun. This one is 100% merino hand painted yarn and hand spun, and it is by Red Fern Fiber in Loveland, Colorado. And I think that they will go well together. So I'm going to mix them in. And I have 3 of those. And this bag came with the little sack for your yarn. It's just so cute. So cute. Love it. All right, so there is that. And then in here, I'm also got, oh, and let me show you the label. She put her seal on it. And the yarn itself is made from 100% USA Rambouillet, approximately 181 yards each. Hand wash, lay flat to dry, hand spun for you by Queen's Crafts by Bridget, a lady and a floozie. All right, now there's a story of a lovely scarf. I was working on it, you know. And then one day, something went wrong. And it turned into a frog. Black yarn from Big Twist. Gold yarn, I don't know. I do have the label somewhere for this. Both 3/4 weight. The hook is a Tunisian hook from Amazon. Love the metal hook. Love that I switched over to the metal. Very happy with that. I was this much farther along and had to pull it out to here because I made a mistake. This is the Star Wars inspired, Star Trek inspired scarf by MDL Crochet. Michael, I'm not giving up. It's a new concept for me here with the changing of the color, and my dyslexic brain has trouble with it. I'm not gonna lie about it. I just have trouble. This is a 7mm. But I'm not going to give up. I'm gonna keep going. So I've got it pulled back to where I was when I messed up. And then, yeah. This is probably not going to be a scarf. My plan is to turn this into a cowl. And I have the pips that go on it. I have the fasteners. These will be the pips that go across, just like they do on Star Trek for the officers. Yeah. But we'll get there. I'll get there, Michael. I am not giving up on that. Not giving up. Okay. Now to the yarns that I have been caking. I showed you that these. These I have not caked yet. I have these two, and see there's all the labels from them. I'm going to just show you. These are the ones that there were a couple of large balls of that gray, and I cut them off and then caked them, and then I had some more in here that was a different kind of yarn. So these brown, these were a little bit different and have a little sheen to them. So the two brown ones. I have a blue. This is one of the ones Mr. Fiber untangled. And then I have this peachy orange color. And then I have all of that gray. And then Mr. Fiber untangled the rest of the gray. And then there was this one. And this one. Now the white one, some of it was felted together, and he got that apart. This one is slightly felted, so it's kind of puffed up a little bit. Then there's this one and this one. And then I had some bits, some little small bits of yarn that were in those bags. And I caked those. They were already in little balls. They were already balled up. So I caked them. Now, what am I going to do with that? I don't know yet. My intention for that yarn was for it to be for the vintage shawls, but I don't know yet. Now, I'm going to put another picture in here for you. I did lay out all of the fingering weight squares, so let me put that picture in here. Okay, so that is the layout for the wrap, and I'm going to start putting them together. Basically, I had 33. There was supposed to be a blanket by Expression Fiber Arts, and it would be 64 squares. And I just said, I'm done with that long-term thing. I'm having issues doing long-term projects right now. My brain is just not there for it. Unless I can break it up into increments. I know. What do you think a granny square is, right? Anyway. So I will be sewing those together in threes, and then sewing the 3 to the next 3 to the next 3. I want to try to do it join as I go. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's why I have it laid out here on my table. If what I plan to do is to sit here and to work from one square to the next and try to do a join as you go. I'll let you know how that works out. Mr. Fiber and I had, so I'll put a picture in here of my mama. On the 8th, it was her 9th anniversary of her passing. And then on the 13th, I don't know if I have a picture of me and Mr. Fiber. If I do, I'll put one in right here. It was the 20th, year 20 of our first meeting, and we met right here at the farm. And then this coming Friday, the 22nd, because today is the 18th, the day that I am filming is, for this part of it, is the 18th. And this Friday is Dad's 80th birthday. And then on the 28th is Chelsea's birthday. I won't say how many. So there's a lot going on. And Mr. Fiber and I, on Saturday, we went to the flea market. And I picked up another 3D printed item. I picked up a little fidget toy for Oliver. And I got this 3D printed skull. And Mr. Fiber went inside. It had, excuse me, some spots in here that were kind of scratchy, you know, because I wanted to use this as a yarn bowl. So that's my new yarn bowl. Maybe it'll be a picture for the front. So I got that. We got some home baked treats, and then what else did I get? Nothing really exciting. Then we went to the record store, and I got some good records at the record store. We just had a really nice day Saturday. We went early, had breakfast, and then went because it was going to be hot, and we were done out there by 11 a.m. and it was starting to get warm. And we went and had lunch. Did we have lunch? We did not go have lunch. We came home and ate lunch. Because we'd had breakfast and we were both so full. Okay, now, health-wise, I know some of you are wondering about health updates. There's not a whole lot to share as far as my health goes, except I've been trying very hard to do things for myself. I have been trying to do the swimming. I've had a hard time. I haven't been going. I have not been going to swimming. And then I still go to the chiropractor, and I'm still getting traction. It has helped. I haven't had headaches since I started on the treatments for my neck. So the chiropractor is helping probably more than anything else that I'm doing right now. Anything besides taking the pain pills. So I'm going to chiropractor and I'm taking pain pills. And that is probably what the rest of my life will look like, because my back is really bad. So that's where I'm at with that, but I'm doing fine. I walk when I can. I swim when I can. and I try to keep moving. Throughout the day, I get up and I move around. I never sit for more than an hour at a time. I always get up and go do something. Whether I go make the bed, go do the dishes, run a load of laundry, vacuum the she shed, straighten up and put things away, go out and take Serbs out to go potty, let Duke in, which I just did a minute ago. I went and let Duke in. I know, he was barking because he could hear me talking. He's sitting right out there, so I let him in. It's still early. He really should not have come in yet, but, you know. Mr. Fiber and I are both softies, right? Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. Dad is doing fine. All of his medications are straightened out. He's doing great there. Tomorrow I go to the chiropractor, and then Thursday he goes to his primary, and we will see what his primary has to say about everything. And then on Friday, Mr. Fiber and I are going out of town, and he is off all next week. So that's why I say you may see less of me, and that's why this video is going up when it does. I've recorded it on Monday the 18th, and then I did the vlog for the first part of the month. But you guys are seeing it later this week. All right? Have a great end of the summer. We're right at there, huh? We're right at the end of this August and summer, and a lot of people should be starting to cool off. I hope so, and I hope you are staying well. I hope you're staying safe. I really appreciate you all very, very much. Have fun today. I love y'all. I'll see you later.